Hey there folks, Wrel here. We are cruising through October, which means that a special Halloween event has taken root in PlanetSide 2. We'll run through what's been added and how to take advantage of some of the goodies being offered. As I understand it, the event will run until November 9th, and a handful of bases have been renamed to fit the spooky season, and you'll also see discounts on Halloween-themed items, including the ones that were available last year, so that'd be some decals, special weapon camo, and they've added a whole bunch of new ones as well. Flaming skulls, pumpkin helmets, masks, and face paints have been added to the game, and they're only going to be wearable during the Halloween season. On top of that, there's a new toy pistol called the NS Candy Cannon, as well as a couple of new knives. These can be used throughout the year, so if you unlock them, you get to keep them. Most of the holiday items are available for station cash per usual, but only the knife and the candy cannon are available for certification points, being 1,000 certs each. In addition to station cash, the non-directive cosmetics can be purchased using a new special event currency that you can obtain without having to pay for it. Each item costs a certain amount of seeds, which are obtained by participating in a new alert type. This new alert forces you to scour the alert continent in search of pumpkins to destroy. And it's kind of similar to how snowmen were available during the winter of last year, but unlike the snowman event, pumpkins will only spawn during an alert, meaning that that is your only chance to gather the holiday currency. Each standard pumpkin gives you 1 to 3 seeds, and the special Galacta-Lantern spawn gives you a little bit more. Players who stick out a pumpkin alert to the end will also receive some seeds, but not all that much. The benefits of placing pumpkins only during an alert is that you have factions competing against one another to smash them, instead of this strange sort of etiquette of no one being allowed to shoot other people who are also hunting pumpkins as existed during the snowman event last year. On top of that, it can also create some interesting conflicts in places that you wouldn't normally be, usually smaller fights between a couple of vehicles. The downsides, I guess, are that you pull forces away from the front lines, which I don't particularly view as a problem on Emerald, but it might be more of an issue on Briggs or at low pop times of day. And probably the most noteworthy downside is that casual players who can only stick around for an hour or two basically won't be able to participate in the event, as the drop rates on seeds are low, and you have to have an alert pop up while you're online. The devs have stated that their initial plan was to increase the rate of pumpkin spawns the closer we get to Halloween, but whether or not that's still their plan or if that'll affect the rate at which the alerts pop up, I couldn't say. That being said, some of these unlocks are required to complete a new holiday directive tree, which actually gives you bonus certifications on top of the standard cosmetic rewards. The first couple of levels aren't so difficult, but one of the directives in particular is extremely troublesome, as it requires you to kill enemies who are wearing Halloween masks with your candy cannon. Now there's just way too much randomness involved when it comes to spotting enemies with the Halloween masks equipped, and then whipping out your terrible toy pistol and trying to put them down. You could carry your candy cannon around all the time and just gun down whoever you see, but that doesn't exactly spell out a fun time for most players. The Masked Murder Directive, on the other hand, allows you to wear a Halloween mask and just knife enemies with the slasher. Now this is much more doable since you're the one in control. As far as pumpkin hunting is concerned, I've linked a couple of good posts in the video description. One is a guide by another player, and the other are maps of current known locations for pumpkin spawns. Hopefully that'll help you scour the lands for pumpkins while an alert is active. If there were some last minute recommendations I could give for hunting pumpkins, it would be to gauge your server's current state, and then work from there. On Emerald, ESF come out of the woodwork whenever a pumpkin alert goes live during prime time, but during the slower hours of day, it's much easier to deal with those ESFs one-on-one or be left alone altogether. I do think that ESF are the easiest way to hunt for pumpkins just based on how much you can see and how quickly you can cover ground, but at the same time you'll probably be a little bit safer, not to mention rack up a lot of experience during prime time, if you run with a friend and man a walker or a ranger harasser or main battle tank. That'll let you outrun or outfight ground-based threats while deterring or killing airborne ones. Another option is to run a Wraith Flash and bring it behind enemy lines, but it can be pretty difficult to find and kill them during highly populated times just due to your limited vision, frailty, and speed. That being said, definitely pop open the video description and check out those links. You're likely to find something worthwhile there. If this video has been interesting, helpful, or entertaining, please feel free to like, subscribe, tell your friends about the channel, and if you have any advice for hunting down pumpkins or completing the event directives, or if you just want to vent about how much you want Halloween to just be over and done with, then feel free to share those thoughts in the comment section down below. Thanks very much, folks. Wrel signing off.